goody for the towards the month ending. Yes, we got a special guest. We talking about a repeat. Man, the things that he has done, ouch. But before we get to that, I mean, get to the juicy stuff. Let's just welcome all of you for being here on this Sunday morning. You could be any place else, and we definitely appreciate you being here with us on the Juice Show this morning. So we want to shout you out because we want to say thank you, as well as whoever invited you to know that you showed up and you definitely about to show out. So go ahead and put where you're chiming in from in the chat. We want to know. We want to be able to cover coast to coast and maybe even go international. But we just nosy like that. So just go ahead and put in the chat where you are chiming in from, as well as if this is your your very first time being here, please put a 1 in the chat. And if you've been here before, put a B. But if you've been counting and you know how many times you've been here, feel free to put that in the chat as well. So let's get this party started and start shouting out the folks that are here and letting us know where you are definitely chiming in from. So we got Rich Rising Family, ATL, Georgia in the building. Thank you so much. So glad you are showing up. Talk about one of our big supporters. She is definitely one of ours. We appreciate you being here, girl. Thank you ever so much. Who else is out there? I want to shout you out and say thank you for showing up. So who else wants to be next? Otherwise, I can see you and I will call you out anyway. But it's always nice to know where you're chiming in from, just so that you can say, I represent where I live. So that's all good. Hey, Alvin, good morning to you as well from Cincinnati, Ohio. Thank you. Thank you. Who else is out there? Oh, we got people popping in already, getting ready. Thank you. We appreciate so much. Who else is out there? All right, I'm gonna start just calling you people out. Just because I can. So we got people coming in. All right. We got Felicia coming in. Who else is out there? I'm seeing the names come in. Who else? Who else? Who else? We also have Jessica and Carrie and Patrick. And all right. Thank you for showing up. Well, as I say, we have talented people behind the scenes, and we definitely want to make sure that their talents are seen and appreciated. So they put together this video, and I kid you not, it never gets old for me. So if you feel like dancing, feel free to do so as well. And as you're chiming in or popping in, go ahead and put in where you're chiming in from so I can go ahead and shout you out as well. Thank you, as always, for we truly believe that if we can educate, we can elevate. And we are definitely wanting to make the empire definitely an LX for sure, to all of you all, to boost whatever you have in your life that you want to, whether it's career, life, family, faith, and let's not forget fun. Because why would we do all of this if we couldn't enjoy the things we want to do? So, here we go.
Yeah! Yeah! Come and get the juice! Yeah!
Juice is respect, power. How far will you go to get it?
How far will you go to get it?
The juice and the power as well. So thank you, Felicia, chiming in from West Palm Beach, Florida. All right. All right. Thank you. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to introduce the Juice Crew, and then I'm going to introduce our special guests. So we got Jerry, we got James, we got Bobby, we got Teresa, we have myself as well, and we have people behind the scenes that you might not ever see. Further ado, I want to say he is a driven real estate investor who began his journey in 2021. Before stepping into real estate, he worked a range of jobs that built the foundation for his restlessness, for his relentless hustle and perseverance. When life got tough, he didn't give up. He changed his game plan and went even harder. That mindset carried him through his toughest times and into a new chapter. Recently, he made a bold move from the cold winters of Minnesota to the warm, opportunities filled climates of Georgia. Proof that he always is willing to go where growth takes him. His story is all about resilience, purpose, and building the life you want, one bold move at a time. He is living proof that when life gets hard and you don't quit, you shift gears and go harder. From Minnesota hustle to Georgia growth, his journey is just started. He will be dropping gems today. His philosophy is simple but powerful. Don't give up because it gets harder. Change the game plan and go harder. His story is a reminder that success isn't about where you start, but how far you're willing to go. So let's give a warm welcome to Taj Bass. Woo!
Hey, how's it going, guys? Second appearance here. I definitely appreciate you guys bringing me back here. So, always a pleasure to be here.
My dog, what's up? Big Todd's in the house, y'all. Y'all know I'll be inspired by this guy. Just from the beginning, like from the beginning of meeting this gentleman, right? And just it always an age factor with me because I started off I started this thing at 36, and I always was thinking, what was I doing at 20 years old that I should have been doing this, right? So I'm always inspired by you, brother. And, I appreciate everything that you're doing, you know. So yeah, so I just want to ask you, start this thing up. How does it feel to be back on the Juice Show, bro?
Yeah, it feels good knowing, that like you guys have like really seen my growth and then always want to showcase like, hey, we see you're doing your thing, come back. Like you guys said back, 2 years ago, like, hey, we're gonna bring you back here. Like we know, you're gonna grow, we know you're gonna, elevate. So it really does feel good being back on here. Being able to share my story from that time to where I am now. So
Nice, nice. And so that is so like, man, that is so, like I said, so inspiring. When you first came to this community, brother was 20 years old. He came on the show at 22 years old. Now at 24, right? Give us a kind of like an example or a reason why you were inspired to move from Minnesota to Atlanta.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you asking that question. In Minnesota, I really wasn't growing the way that I needed to grow, and I knew that from when I graduated high school that Minnesota really wasn't the place on where I wanted to be, and that was even before real estate. And then when I really got in of my ultimate goal down the road, I really actually want to build, a lot of different things in Minnesota that we don't have there and the opportunities here in Georgia. So, I know I've been doing real estate remotely, But all the other things that I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna take it to Minnesota where I am from because we don't have as much. And I had to take that chance now, or I'll just keep pushing it back years and years and years because I already pushed it back years and years for a while, and I'm like, nah, now is the time, or it never will be. So
Sweet, sweet. So I love this transition. We always transitioning. We always moving, right? Never being stagnant. So I love that. So I want to ask you, like, what do you feel like? What daily habits have you kept that in line with your goals that allowed you to kind of transition, like so, easily?
yeah, really, like, still, like, even in my real estate business, still, you know, calling the folks, still hitting the people up on my daily routines of how I, find leads in real estate. And even from the transition, like the first couple of days, all right, it was a little like, all right, I gotta get situated in, moved in. Um, but just still like, all right, I need to hit this daily target to, get to where, I want to be. So just really still have setting that, daily limit for myself. So
Got it, got it. And last thing for they take off because they about to take off on you, right? So in this journey, you've created this new show of your own that you help people, you inspire people. Can you talk a little bit about that show and what it is? What is it? What is it called?
I have a show called Locating Leads where I show people the way that I locate leads and that I've, actually had success and closed deals, like, a recent deal that I actually just closed from a result of my show. So yeah, every Sunday at 1 o'clock, I show people like, hey, this is how you could do this too, because this is what I'm doing. So
Got you. And that's 1 o'clock. What time zone? So
yeah,
people.
1 o'clock Eastern. I apologize. I know not everybody on the same time zone. So yeah, 1 o'clock Eastern.
All
Yeah.
right, cool. Perfect. All right, so let's go back just a little bit for people who haven't maybe seen the first episode. Now you was on with us when we first started. You was episode 11, and your title was "Finding Your Way in Life, Overcoming Adversities." And I went back and watched it last night. It was, man, you threw down on this show, and you had just so much knowledge and wisdom then. So now, 2 years later, but tell people exactly like how did you even find real estate and get involved?
Yeah, really, I found real estate more on like social media. I remember I was sitting in the parking lot one day at Walmart and I was watching like TikTok and I was getting tired of going there every single day. Like, yo, this is not the life that I want. Like, I just only had one daughter at the time. I had a little girl, and I'm like, I can't keep living, this life of just waking up, going to Walmart. There needs to be a change. So then, like later down there, because I was like 2021, later down in that year, then I came across, the community. And, you know, I tapped in with my guy Reese. He tapped me into the community and, just really just been, loving, every step of the way ever since I started this community. Cause I really haven't been, this is not just me doing this all myself. Like, yeah, I'm a hustler, but really the people around me's, putting me in those positions and open up those doors where, I can step in and fulfill. So,
All right, yeah, no doubt. So when Reese found you, where did he find you at, and what were you currently doing then?
Yeah, he actually found me on Facebook, and I was actually doing DoorDash. So I could take y'all back and look during them times when, like, I was really working like 17, 18 hour days, like every day, just to, stay above, stay afloat, with bills, with like everything. Like, I was like going through like the toughest time of my life during that time. And I just always told myself, hey, I'm gonna keep going no matter what, no matter how hard it get, I'll keep going. And I just always continue to, you know, get through that. So yeah, Reese, Facebook, like, and it's crazy. Like, he's really like a big brother to me. We talk on a daily basis. and just blessed that he's somebody in my life that like really showed me this community.
All right, cool. All right, yeah. Since you started, man, like you said, we got to see your journeys from when you started and to where you're at now. And it's, your tenacity and your consistency is something that, I admire. And I even look up to, along with other people in the community. And what you said was, well, actually, how was your first deal and what did that look like? And could you kind of take us through those steps
Yeah,
of
yeah. What was that?
finding a deal and getting
Yeah,
started?
yeah. So that was actually like with before Renatus. I had like a deal that I just JV'd with somebody on Facebook, but actually being a part of the community, I had a short-term rental. Me and my partner Krishna. It was a lot of challenges with that one. We actually had two short-term rentals that we grabbed at the same time. And they were running well for a minute. It was always problems though. Like the landlord wouldn't really fix anything. Like he wouldn't like a leak happened. He wouldn't fix the leak. Then we would have to figure out, okay, how can we fix this leak? Then um another thing that happened, it was back in 2023. Another thing that happened, the AC broke. And he wasn't trying to fix the AC for days. And I'm like, okay, me and Kristen, my partner, we talked. I'm like, all right, this is what we gotta do. We gotta just buy an AC unit, and he's gonna have to fix it because we're not gonna pay no rent or anything until this problem is fixed. Because it was just a lot of challenges with that one. Like, and we just kept going until eventually, like a real big problem happened. The whole roof and I feel so bad to this day. A guest woke up and he had water all over him. The roof leaked and just all over him, all over the bed. And he was in there for like 30 days already. And it was just terrible. But we had to just kind of adjust and, you know, like figure out, okay, yeah, we're frustrated about the problem because we knew he, wasn't the best at figuring out the solution. So we got to figure out the solution to this. We can't sit back and just like, all right, forget about it. So we, you know, Larry had to just find a lot of different ways and end up just walking away from those short term rentals because it just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
Wow.
So
No, that is insane, man. So through all those problems and adversity, what was the fire that kept you going to keep going? Because, it sounds, for the roof falling in, the leak, the AC unit. You said you had some more challenges going on with some more short-term rentals, which I believe there's some video of you did what was it? Red flags on short-term rentals that's out there that we can check out. So for the
yeah.
people who want to see that, get with the person who invited you and get you that information. But how was that? How did you keep going after that? Because I would have
Mm,
been, I mean, I can imagine it was frustrating and that you just want to be like, look, that's a wrap for me. So what kept you going? And oh man, that's just
mm.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, really what kept me going is like, I already said I'm starting this journey. Like I already said, hey, I'm fully gonna be in the real estate and I'm not gonna be working a job the rest of my life. So if just because this went bad, this didn't go through, um, like I always start thinking about the end goal of this. Like this is not just gonna be the only deal. Yeah, it's tough. We'll figure out in this moment. But I also think about what I always told myself at the beginning when I started this journey. Like, no matter what happens, I'm gonna always keep going, no matter who I lose, what I lose. Like, I don't even look at it as a loss. I just look at it as just lessons learned that helped and shaped me to build me to be a stronger man. And figure out solutions than just always just like, all right, I'm gonna just tap out and give up because this was hard. Like, nah, I'm just gonna always, you know, push to, push my best and just never give up. Like it's just not in my blood to give up. Like
Nice,
with
brother.
Man,
That's
I love
nice.
that, bro. I love that, bro. Never giving up. Like the world is gonna always be challenging. It's gonna always be something, right? That challenges you, right? What's the one thing a 22-year-old Taj didn't understand that now you understand?
what now that I understand, really that I okay, like even with the giving up, like I still had like I was more like, how do I say this? I was more like not really figuring out like like if a problem was to arise, like I didn't do my due diligence, I feel like enough with certain things. Like I would know, but I wasn't trusting my gut. Even though I knew some would be feeling a little funny. I'm like, I don't know. This is just feeling a little funny. Like even with the short-term rental I had with Jessica, I'm like, like she's on the line right now. She'll tell you, I'm like, these floors. I don't know. Something's a little funny with this. I don't know. This outlet. The outlets aren't working. Like, but I was like, let's just still go with it. You know.
Mhm.
Um, even with the first short term run, I'm like, I don't know. I even told the guy, I'm like, you might have to fix these floors. Like, some just always felt funny, but I still went with it. I'm like, now, once I get that feeling in a real estate deal, if something doesn't feel right, like I'm just adamant, like, nah, I'm not doing it. It's not feeling right. I don't trust it. I'm going with my gut 100% now because every time I went against my gut, it was always what I was, always feeling like something might happen. So, I trust my gut 100% more now, from when I was 22.
Man, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. So in this journey, right? It appears as though you love giving back because people like Reese and the people in the community that have poured into you, you've decided, hey, I want to give back, right? So is that kind of like the catalyst that kind of made you start this investor training show? Or what kind of inspired you to say, hey, you know what? I want to do this show and help people. What kind of like led you to that?
Yeah, really, pouring back into the people that's helped me, like, like the hours Reese has been on the phone with me, helping me out, Jason, Joe, like everybody, like Jay, like y'all literally poured, like it's been hours that y'all poured into me, like not just here and there, like it's like consistently, and I'm like, okay, I know a lot of people look up to me, so why should I sit back and hold what I'm doing when a lot like especially people know like, oh, Taj, he asks a lot of questions. So I'm at a point now. It's like I know other people may have questions, and I don't want to just sit there and hold back. Because now I know, like, oh, I know this is, you know, a good deal. I know this is how you can find this lead. So, and really, what inspired me too as well is, our guy Ryan, like, because he was showing people how to find leads back when I first got started. So, it was called Turn Up Tuesday. It was him and actually Reese. Both of them was on there. Like they were on there consistently. Every Tuesday we was going on there, breaking up in different groups. And I'm like, okay, I love that call. So I'm like, let me bring that back, and I'm gonna start my own thing and how I do it. So I'm like, and it feels good when people do come back, like, hey, I found this lead, Taj. This is, you know, I appreciate you. Like, for a while, people was just like, yo, I love that show. Keep doing it. So it's like it feels good when people, see value in my call, what I do. Like even if it's not something that they close on, just to hear that they're learning something that I'm showing.
Right.
So
And you're showing people how to actually go out and invest, or not just go out and invest, but go out and find the properties to invest in, and not just in your local market. So all my
mhm.
people that's on Facebook here, all my new guests or whatever, we have every single week we do a property tour where we feature a student who are utilizing their education and they're going out and doing real estate, right? So we featured his deal that is here in Detroit. He's in Atlanta. So if you guys want to get a copy of that or take a look at the property tour, get whoever invited you here, hey, I want to check out Todd's property tour, right? It's totally worth it, right? So my last question before you get away from me, right, is what's your what is your favorite failure that taught you a lesson?
Mm. I would say my favorite failure, I would say probably the short-term rental in Dallas with Jessica. Um, and with that, like we didn't make any money. Like we didn't make a dollar. And like really just having those like difficult times of like a bird got into our unit. The manager wasn't, like listening to us or like really trying to hear us out. And it was like, okay, they're obviously against us. They don't want to fix the problem. We're trying to fix the problem, you know, and also like still, you know, wanting to make profit in it, even though like we invested in it, but every month, like we were just still like we had to pay our life bills. And then we also had another bill that ain't making no money. Even when we had guests in there, it's like we're still not making anything, and that one had a lot of problems. Like we had bed bugs there, we had a dead bird, we had like it was just a list of problems that was going on. And I'm like, look, I'm looking to stay calm. I know it's challenging, like especially when she was dealing with the manager, like, all right, like look, let me try to talk to her. Let me be the cool, the ice, because this lady, she was always hot every time she talked to Jessica. I don't know why. And I just feel like that like really like showed like, okay, it kind of humbled me at the same time, like, hey, you ain't do your due diligence enough. And now, and like even with like the floors, like I knew the first second we got there, something was wrong with them. And I'm like, then somebody end up breaking, or like they fell through the floor. I'm like the floor. I'm like, okay, like I had a feeling it would happen. I just didn't know when. And it really taught me a lesson, like stick with your gut and do more due diligence, because it can happen to you. It can, you know, your whole game plan of you thinking this is something that's good, it can just turn around. But and then, even with during that time, like it was hard to even try to get out the lease, because we're like, look, we got to break this lease. We cannot just sit here another 7 months and continue to just not have no income coming in. You know, we can't do it, and they was making it hard to break the lease. So, but with the help of the team, though, Ryan, like he literally got on the Zoom with me and Jessica and like, hey, nah, it is a bulletproof lease, but if you just negotiate with them, talk with them, I think y'all be all right. That's what we had to do. And, we walked away. They kept the deposit, but we had to walk away from that one. That really taught me a lesson, like, hey, just you got to do your due diligence and stick with your gut. So,
Powerful lesson. Powerful lesson. So, what in every, because you've done quite a few partnerships, and the more you're in this business, you realize exactly where your talents and skills are at. So for you in real estate, what do you feel like you're the most talented at or skillful at?
I feel like with me is really like, you know, I guess my finding out the person's problem, because we're not, you know, buying properties, we're not, getting properties. We're trying to find a challenge that certain people are, have in real estate. So like, like the recent deal that I just did, um, the seller had a challenge. He had a problem where he wasn't gonna make any money. He ran out of money for the property. So I feel like with my, problem solving skills, and also the way that, I negotiate with people, I think that's really my biggest, like, really my best attribute in real estate. So
Yeah. So even on your show, locating leads, like for people who want to find these deals like you found, um, how much money do they need, or do they need any money to find it in the way that you show
Yeah, with me, you don't need no money, but what you're gonna spend, you're gonna spend your time. You know, and time could be money because time is valuable. But it does. The thing is, what I always tell people, it doesn't take that much time to find a lead. You know, like even the way that I show it, like I give people that time on my call, like, hey, I'm gonna show you how to do it, but now I'm gonna give you the time to also do it as well. Because let's see if you understand and you get it, because like kind of how we were talking about before, like setting them daily goals, daily limits. I'ma always, like just carve out just a little bit of time. That's all it takes. It just takes time. So I'm spending more time than money when I'm finding leads.
now. In 2023, when you did the show, you were talking about you was spending a lot of time like working, and you was doing like
Mm.
18-hour days. You even said it today. Right now, like, has that changed? Are you working less, doing real estate more, or
Mm.
how's everything looking now?
Yeah, since I just moved, I am working less. But even after that, like I did end up getting like a property management job as well. So I was working in property management of a Section 8 building. So I wasn't having to work 18-hour days because life started like once the mobile homes I was wholesaling. I was like, okay, this is paying this debt off. This is paying this credit card back. It's pay like it's helping me out more than okay, I don't need to work 18-hour days. I'm not in that position where everything every month I'm just, going under. But nah, I'm not having to work 18-hour days no more. So it's really just been, focusing on real estate until it's that point where I I could just really be fully in real estate where I don't need like to work, that job. So
Yeah, it sounds like the real estate is helping you buy back some of your time because of the money that you're able to make, in a short amount of time versus hourly, making the money hourly. So
yeah, yep, yeah. That definitely is. Once things do get into place, especially after this one, it's really gonna just buy a lot more time back. Like even when I was saying yesterday, like I had to weigh out my options with this deal. I could have went a lot of different ways. I could have kept it. I could have put more work into it. Like it was a lot of different ways I could have did. So I'm just thankful that you know being around this community, I can have those various ways to you know invest in the real estate. So
Nice. Nice, man. Okay. Well, I'm still tripping about your short-term rentals and what you had to go through because, right now I'm currently hosting someone at the short-term rental. That's, hey, what's the Wi-Fi? Even though I got to post it up everywhere. And it's a trip. So, with that said, would you do anything differently from if you were starting over today?
yeah, if I was starting over today, the one person that I would automatically go to is our guy Chinadu, just because he like the way that I'll talk to Chinadu, I'll call him, you know, just seeing how he has like he's really like hands off on his business. He showed other people like, hey, this is how you could be hands off as well. Help the guy out, Sam, JC. The way that he's doing, I'm like, okay, maybe there's something that I was missing that that I wasn't doing, or my partners and I, we weren't doing. That needs to be in place because it just felt like all the time they're like, yeah, I had to clean it there, and I was hands off a lot. Sometimes I really wouldn't even see the place, and it was just like something else is missing. Like why is there not enough bookings, or why, like what, and just really having, Chinadu just kind of guide and help with that because he's doing it with everybody else. He literally's putting that out there. Hey, I'm here to help. I'm here to guide you. So if I was to, I don't know if I'm ready for short term rentals. Yeah, I don't know. It's been back and forth in my mind, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm still at a point where I'm like, I don't know. I'll need Chin to do like right there. So
Yeah. No, 100%, 100%. We get some more. I'm hollering at Chin as well, brother. Just for his wealth of knowledge and everything like that. So, what are you doing right now? Are you looking to build in Atlanta? Are you looking to build outside of Atlanta? Or are you still looking outside areas to find properties? Or are you going to be, based in where you move to for that reason? Or how is that working for you?
yeah, really just finding properties in Atlanta, the outskirts, the outskirts suburbs, inside the city. Just figuring out their market and also still in Detroit.
Mhm.
Detroit, I love that market. I feel like it's a good market to really, stay in, be in, especially off of this deal. I'm like, look, there's a ton of, like opportunity in Detroit that I see, and also out here just really still figuring out the market down here and how the flow is, and just doing that market analysis to make sure like okay, this is how it's moving over here. So
Then you find something out in Atlanta because I know you and I are looking for a flip out there. And
yeah,
how's that been going for you?
whew. Yeah, out here what I've noticed like it's been more like people just buying like they'll buy it at market value when it's like there's no like you still have to fix it. You still have to put in 100 grand of work just to even make a profit. But like from what I've seen and what I was hearing, like a lot of people they're buying at market value and they're messing up the prices slightly here and they're just throwing renters in there. So, you know, I'm just like, how can like where's that like specific area? Because that's like inside the city of Atlanta. So what are those other cities that we can find? Like okay, you know, this is a good area to flip in because every area has those areas that are good, to flip and then also to just keep rentals. Like from where I'm from, Minneapolis, depending on what part you're at in Minneapolis, you might have to like the north side you keeping rentals over there. It's hard to do a flip over there, so that's kind of like figuring out here like what is the best solution or what's the best area to really just flip in, like where
Mhm.
people are moving to like actually own their homes at.
Right.
Just really figuring that out. So,
Nice.
Hey man,
so
I love this is real good. And what I'm hearing is that as you become a full-time investor, right? You are toying around, or not toying around, but you learning how to do multiple strategies and what we would call a transactional engineer. I heard you go from short-term rentals to you just purchased a two-family flat here in the city, right? Now you down in Atlanta looking for rental properties, right? So learning these different strategies. Um, I guess my question is, what do you hope your guests take away from your show? Because I'm sure that you are kind of guiding your show to help people see this. So what are you expecting, or how are you guiding your audience to take, what are you getting them to take away from your show?
Yeah, that's a great question. Uh, Really, what I want, the guests to take away from my show is like, hey, I can find a lead that could turn into a deal, and really just have like always like I tell people all the time, look, you go to any one of our calls to get the support like I did. You can come back to me, and we could talk about it. We could go over, you know what that deal is like if you can't make it to the call, but you're only on my call. Um, so really my biggest thing is, getting people I really want to start seeing more people get to the closing table off of my show. That's gonna really make me feel good when it's like, hey, I found this on Facebook. I went to the closing table and I closed like that. That's gonna really make my day. Like I really just help somebody out from showing what, you know, I do. Like, so really just getting more people to the closing table is really my ultimate goal for people, like off of my show, showing it the way that I do. So
Cool, cool. And I like it how, different markets seem to excite you. You know how to look at a market and now it's like, oh, wait, I think I found me a good market to invest in. And so
yeah,
when I hear people say, oh, Detroit is kind of like that, Detroit is a beginning investors market. So if you beginning in real estate, you can come here and I did hear you say mobile homes as well, right? So did all these
mm,
different strategies, right? If you want to kind of tiptoe your way, just stick your toe in the water, right? You are actually showing people how to go out and find those markets where you can, like, not lose your shirt in the market. So, man, that is so profound that you are doing that, right? So, as I said, the markets that excite you, I love that, right? What do you feel like?
yeah,
What do you focus on more? Is it the cash flow, or are you focusing more on that equity?
yeah, really, for me, really equity for a flip. Like that's really like the main one, at least right now. Um, but I always look at it different ways. Like that's where I was kind of juggling, you know, even with this deal that I just currently bought in Detroit, like I don't know, but I had to weigh my options out, So I kind of look at it like whatever kind of comes up, I'll analyze it really both ways to just see what. Like I always analyze it as a flip first, but if it doesn't work, I'm like, okay, what can it be as a rental? Um, and then when the deal does close, I don't know if I'll pass up on another, $1,000 cash flow. I don't think I might do that again, because now I'm gonna be in a position that I'm better in. So, you know, it, more flip is like kind of getting me there just because I'm like, okay, that lump sum, you know, will help me get more. I feel like I can't say get it because you can get out of a job with cash flow too. But just like where I want my bank account to be is like, okay, more of a lump sum to, okay, I don't have the big expenses yet. I don't own a house or nothing like that. So just to have like more cushion in my bank account right now. But if another opportunity of $1,000, like I said, I don't know if I'll pass that one up.
Nice, nice. So man, while we transition into the announcements, Bobby, show where you getting this knowledge from, how they can kind of like, get involved. It's all about community, man. We love what you're doing. You are a leader in this group, despite your age. I don't care what they saying, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
thank you. I
Sure.
appreciate that.
You are leading the way, right?
All right, everybody, make some noise for Big Taj, man. Second time around here on the Juice Show, bringing you the jewels, young age entrepreneur, making it happen. Make sure your questions, put them in the chat so we can get to that right quick. All right, all right. So this is the announcement segment. All right, this is the calendar. If you're brand new, get out your phone. Let you know every Sunday, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. We're right here on the Juice Show, right here dropping the jewels, interviewing different students that's going on and just showing their progress. This is where you want to be every Sunday. All right, lock it in, lock it down. All right. All right, coming up right after this with our very own Mr. Jerry Ruffin, Mr. Motor City himself. This is the introduction to the real estate investing. This is where we get our information. These are the people we surround ourselves with. These are the people we're learning from. All right, who we are, what we do, and how you can get involved. Coming up right after this at 11:30. So make sure if you want to lock in, which you should. You see the progress. You see the people that we're involved with. This is where you want to be. This is where it's at. All right, cool. Also at 11:30 with our very own James Gavin. We knocking them out, man. We got other endeavors outside of the Juice Show, just making it happen. Make the call, secure the deal. This is a cold calling marathon with our very own James, who's going to be setting up calls. So if you want to hear about that or hear on it, or you got some calls to make yourself, make sure you check us out right here. That's coming up. All right. Woo! Where we at right here? Do you know we shining over here? We shining over here. 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern right here. Locating leads with Mr. Taj Best right here himself. As you
Do the
heard him speak.
honors. Let Tosh tell them why they should get on. Why
Oh,
should they get
what's
on
up? Yeah,
here?
we'll let Taj speak on this. What's up, bro?
Yeah, come on here where I can show you how to find leads, just like I, just did this recent deal. I would love to get everybody to the closing table and just actually see how to better find your leads and, maybe the way that you're doing it now. I'll definitely show you a way how you can find the leads. So come on, locating leads, and I will show you how to find the leads.
There you go. You heard it from the man himself. All right. So come check us out. And if you're having that problem locating, because everybody says they can't find deals, but they are everywhere. Or you just gotta locate the lead. All right. No doubt. All right. After that, check us out 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here with the Real Estate Mastermind. The Mastermind, this is where we analyze the deals, how you found it, how you funded it, what exit strategies you're going to be doing. This is the day. So we all get together as investors and we analyze the deals before you go out there and put in the offer, just to make sure it is right and tight and everything is all right. T's crossed, I's dotted, before you go out there. So check us out on the Real Estate Mastermind. If you're lucky, ask the person who got you here. And if you're lucky, we can get you there as well so you can see how everything goes down. All right, this is the Juice Show Facebook page. Make sure you like, follow, and leave a review. Let us know if you came here late, or if you want to see some past podcasts, maybe the earlier one with Taj. Make sure we got all our past podcasts right here. So you can scroll down, let us know. Check us out. If you have any suggestions who you would like to see on the Juice Show, please let us know. Let's make it happen. That's on Facebook, man. Come check us out. There's a link right there. Hit it up. Let us know. Make it happen. Cool. All right. Right now we got deals of the community. Community. All right. This is the deals of the community. If you want to see your name in bright lights, these are the people who's actually making moves, taking advantage of the education and letting it be known and seeing your name up here in bright lights. It's just our way to giving back to the community and letting other people know who's not here that we are making moves that are putting it into action and making these things happen. All right. So if you want to see your name in bright lights like this right here, please let us know. We'd love to highlight everything that you're doing. And yeah, let's keep it moving, y'all.
For
Any
sure, we
questions?
got a Facebooker, Yolanda
Yeah,
Stewart,
let's go.
says, do you have a specific profit spread that you use, like in order to do a deal? So I'm assuming this is a spreadsheet, a profit spreadsheet.
No,
Oh
you mean is
yeah.
like you got a certain dollar amount you want to make off
Oh, a
each.
profit spread. That's what she's saying. Okay.
Oh,
You got a
got you.
specific profit spread that you would like in order to do a deal.
Um, it really all depends, and the answer to that, it really all depends on what does that take. So, for example, like if it's like a fix and flip, like I'm not gonna do a fix and flip that's gonna take 12 months for like 10, 15,000. Like I just don't see that's really valuable to me. The old me before. Back when I was like 21, 22, I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely do that. I'll take it. I need that 10,000. Like I need that 15,000. But me now, I'm like, nah, I'm good. That's a lot of time, just to be getting 10, 15,000. So, it really all depends on like what, like how, I guess, how long does it really take for something? That's kind of where I look at, like, if I'm spending my time doing this, calling contractors, getting things organized, like I'm kind of at that point. Like,
Everybody has their
all right,
number. Like
yeah,
everybody has their number with, what I'm saying, with what they would want to like. And that the beauty of this thing is you can design whatever it is. Like if it doesn't make that when you out locating and lead, when you out locating and lead, if it doesn't make the profit margin that you desire, then guess what? You move to the next one. It's
yeah,
that that's it, right? If it doesn't fit your criteria, that ain't you. And that's fine. It's so many. Just go out, drive down the street. You see all that property, see everything around you, right? Move to the next. Don't fall
Right.
in love with something, right? Um, yeah, so do I got any more on Facebook? I don't see any more, right? Um, what are you building that people can't see?
What I'm building that people can't see is I'm really building an empire. And it's not really just, you know, property and houses and real estate. It's also um, really my end goal is really actually restaurants. That's what I'm building behind the scenes that a lot of people probably don't know. I said it, a couple years ago actually on one of our calls. Um, and that's really my end goal is like restaurants. And I'm like slowly just, getting to a point where I'm like that's kind of where I want the empire built is within that. It's not even just like I said, it's not even just houses. Like it ain't the money, it ain't the houses. It's really just like the time freedom. And really I love seeing other people like happier or having enjoyment in life. So, that's something that I'm building that a lot of people ain't seeing.
Who holds you accountable?
Who holds me accountable? One thing I'm gonna say is really my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. God hold me accountable every day because you know he gives me the purpose to do this and like have this mindset and fulfill the purpose that he gave me in this life. And also you know the people that hold me accountable is I'm shout out my woman. She holds me accountable on a daily basis, and also my team. They you guys hold me accountable a lot. So
I got a question. Say, Taj, what would you tell, or what would you want to say to someone that is working a 9 to 5 and thinking about making a move?
one thing that I'll say, if you're working a 9 to 5 and you want to make a move, like in real estate, are you saying?
Yes, yes, in
Okay,
real estate.
yeah. One thing that I would say is even if you're working a 9 to 5, you got to really have that hustle to you know, now carve out that time after work, work 6 to 7 or 6 to 8, 6 to 9, whatever that time that you feel like you could do, to make sure you're still, getting your sleep, getting, dinner started, but still putting in that work after hours when, you already worked all them hours at work. Because if you want to live your dream life, if you want to, you know, you know, be on the beach and go to Dominican Republic. You gotta put in that work. Like it's not just gonna come off of sitting back and you know just not doing anything. Like you gotta work hard after you already working hard.
Like that. Yeah, I like that question LaShawn asked. That was great. Yeah, you got to work hard at whatever you want to. So you started at the age of 20, and now you're 4 years in. And what would you say, like to people, like, because even just piggybacking off of LaShawn, you were putting in 18 hours, and you still had children. You got two daughters, right? But you were still finding time to plug into to real estate. How were you able to do that?
Yeah, 'cause I was just working. I was working DoorDash, so it's like it was at a time like I had like small little business cards where I'll throw it in the bag, and then I'll just kind of pull off. Or I'll like during them times I'm like, okay, I'm getting gas. I'm a just quick look at a property. I don't recommend nobody doing this. I promise you, I'm not saying do this at all, but I ain't gonna lie when I be driving, I'll sometimes quick, look at my phone, try to just, send a quick text out, try to call a seller when I'm driving by their house. Like I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna skip trace. Like I was trying to just do everything because I would have all these orders. I'm driving by all these neighborhoods, all these houses, and I'm like, I can't be in this position. This is not where I want to be. This is where I'm not gonna be. So yeah, I was doing some crazy stuff during that time that people probably don't know, but I was definitely texting and driving and trying to make a move, you know, when I'm just, out there doing orders.
By any means, right? So you tried before you even came into this community, you tried other education. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So yeah, the other education I had, it was like more just focused on wholesaling. Um, they really, like they just weren't really helping, and I wasn't getting the support. Like, yeah, they, had structure on Zoom and everything, but it wasn't like actually like classes to learn from, or it wasn't like it would just be, you know, I guess it was more motivation they were giving, to bring. Oh, if you got anything, but like a lot of people, like I didn't know nothing. Like, okay, I don't know what to bring when I don't know, I don't even know what I'm talking about, you know and just to have like classes support, like okay, I can learn something, I could go back to, I could call somebody and I could actually have a real conversation where they can help and show me what I can do. So that other community just wasn't really that supportive, I would say, than the community I'm in now.
Yeah, it's something else I wanted people to hear because when I looked at your last episode, you said you had an uncle tell you how you gonna do real estate. You ain't got no money.
Yep, yep, yeah. He sure did. How you gonna do real estate with no money? And the one thing, like I said, like, hey, like I looked at it, like I'm not gonna, take advice from somebody that I wouldn't, want to be in their shoes. Um, I've still kept that way. They still doing the same thing, and I've been elevating. Yeah, they can say I don't have money, but I've been doing it. So, hey,
And you closed about 10 deals since then, even with the most
yeah.
recent deal, you
Mhm.
the purchase price was how much, and then how much of that purchase price did you come out of pocket since you had no money?
Yeah, yeah, the purchase price was 50,000. I didn't, come a dollar out of my pocket with that, for that purchase price. So, you know, one thing that, I tell people is like, yeah, you're right. I don't got 50,000. You're right, but I'm gonna find it though. I'm gonna get it. I have the knowledge to get it. That's the biggest thing.
Hey, do you believe
So
in motivation or momentum more? Because it sounds like your uncle telling you that kind of what did it do to you? Was it
yeah,
motivation or that
I
momentum?
can't even say motivation because I don't know. Like, you know, I'm just not like yeah, it sounds cool to, he like, oh, that's gonna fire me up. I'm like, man, I'm gonna do it regardless if you said it or not. I'm not really the motivation guy. Like I used to be, like when I was in like high school, playing football, I'm like, okay, we gotta get motivated, but it's like it'll burn out quick when something else happens. And even when he said that, I was going through a tough time in life. So I'm like, nah, like no matter what, I'm gonna get there. And it wasn't like I'm not built off motivation. I'm, built off discipline. Like I have to do this. Like it's no other way around it. So I was
Yeah.
more disciplined for this. So
Yeah, and that seems to be the routine around here. It's not something, it's the discipline and the action you take, and everybody wanted to be a part of it. And nothing is going to stop me. Attitude is what it seems like what a lot of people are built around, and what struggles people had to go through in order to get to where they're at now. And that's what makes a good story. So that's 100%, man. So let people know where they can get a hold of you at, your IG handles or anything like that. And
yeah.
if they want to reach out to Taj.
Yeah, if you want to reach out to me, you can go ahead. You can follow me on IG, Leaving a Legacy 4. Or, if you want to reach me as well, you can add me on Facebook, Taj Brown. I am heavily on Facebook. Like y'all know, that's how I find my leads. So I'm always on there. I'm always active.
You know what we forgot? We time going by so fast. We forgot to get into your classes that you that you had.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when we did. So, yeah.
Well, he talked about transactional engineer, so that was great. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We definitely know that we all are inspired by the education that we are taking, and it's what helps us through this journey, right? Real estate is a team sport. and come play on the team, on the winning team, because we winning over here, y'all, for sure, for sure. And so, man, I just want to thank you, man, for coming on, showing out as you always do, right? And I do want you to leave our listeners with something that I don't know that you want them to know about you, right? I don't know, maybe I don't know. But whatever you want them to leave with that message from Taj, right? 24-year-old, what you was doing at 24? I don't know. I know I wasn't doing this. And so I'm definitely grateful to you, bro. And thanks for coming on, sharing your story, and just laying it out on the table, right? Be easy about this, right? It is always a challenge in real estate, right? But with the team, you got the support, you know what I'm saying? And so, man, we are here for you. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys, having me here. Another, my second appearance here. It really is a blessing that you guys are, you know, loving to see me grow. Like it really is a blessing. One thing that I lead the people is no matter, excuse me, no matter what happens in your life, no matter if your house set on fire, if you lost something real, real bad in your life, no matter what difficult time you're in, always, always, always think about what you really want in life and why you started this. Like always just tell yourself about that why, because no matter what, things are gonna happen regardless in your life, and you just got to keep going. And like I said before, like when times get hard, you got to go harder. So I
Um,
appreciate y'all having me here.
Taj, I just want to say thank you again for being on here a second time around. And I mean, just being so transparent. I can't imagine going through all the stuff that he went through with a short term rental, and somebody would have been like, you know what, the roof is in, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And you just was like, I got to see this through. Um, and not to give away anything about your recent deal, but the fact that you stuck with it after the owner wanted to give up, after the person that brought it to you wanted to give up, and that you still profited from it at a 40K and you could have just walked away too, that just shows true resilience beyond belief. So thank you for sticking with it and sharing your story with us and being transparent.
Yeah,
So in the
thank you.
next, we don't want to wait for another 2 years for you to come back, but we definitely can't wait to see what you do next. So
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you. I appreciate you guys for having me here.
All right, all right. We're gonna wrap it up. This is another sensational Sunday. We'd like to thank Taj for coming on here, sharing his story, and thank you guys for tuning in and checking us out as well, as we are here every Sunday. With the exception of a holiday. But with that said, Taj, once again, thanks again, brother. Definitely gonna be in touch with you. Taj and I are working on something, so hopefully we're gonna be back here at the property tours, have us both on the Juice Show, answering something. But with that said. You have been
Big
Juice, 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 juice.
juiced. All right. Enjoy your holiday weekend. We'll see you guys next week. Have
All
a good one.
right.
Love y'all.
Peace.